we've talked quite a bit about Poway Unified and the $1 billion bond and everything else, the disgrace of John Collins, the former superintendent. And then recently, our superintendent was dismissed, was fired by the board, Marian Kim-Phelps. And you may have heard about the whole softball controversy where the girls at the softball banquet didn't clap loud enough, and there was a lot of problems, a lot of bullying, a lot of teenagers being teenagers, and our superintendent was out there defending her daughter, but doing it as superintendent and frankly violating a lot of the ethics of what is expected of a public official, particularly a superintendent of a school district. And as a result, she was investigated, she was fired. But now a new story has come forward that a retired Poway Unified employee says in a new lawsuit that the fired superintendent harassed her. So now we're getting more people coming forward saying that Marian Kim-Phelps was harassing this person. So the plaintiff, her name's Amanda Marshall, she's suing Marian Kim-Phelps and the school district, saying that Phelps harassed her for years with yelling, intimidation, and manipulation, and that the district didn't protect her. Okay. And then the article, this is an article, by the way, in the San Diego Union Tribune, and it's, you can go to palmeradonews.com and it's there as well. The article goes on to kind of explain the whole softball clapping controversy, but then it goes on to tell more about this woman. Her name is Amanda Marshall, and she was commenting about the softball situation, and she said, "I can totally believe that Marian Kim-Phelps did this," Marshall said in an interview, referring to the softball player's accusations. "This is what she does to people." Apparently she was berating this employee, threatening her, demanding on when asking when she's going to retire, trying to move her out. The lawsuit says Phelps also harassed Marshall by, for example, taking away her access to Phelps' work schedule or work office and calendar, which made it harder for Marshall to do her job. The lawsuit also alleges Phelps discriminated against Marshall based on her age and race. According to the lawsuit, Phelps frequently asked Marshall, now 62, when she would retire, and told Marshall, quote, "If I were your age, I would retire." The lawsuit alleges that Phelps made a derogatory comment about blonde, blue-eyed women in front of Marshall, who is white and blonde, which she said suggested discriminatory intent by Phelps. Okay, well, Marian Kim-Phelps is gone, okay, and I don't think she's coming back. She's suing to try to get her job back. But this was documented in the San Diego Union Tribune, and this just sort of seems to confirm what we have heard about the behavior of our former superintendent. I mean, what do you think of this? Now, it is interesting. I mean, obviously, we see cases of workplace harassment that occur in the private sector as well as here, in this case, in the public sector. And, I think we've all had a boss that has sucked, haven't we? Haven't we all had a boss that was rude, inconsiderate, maybe would get on your case, maybe yell at you a little bit, when you screwed up or you needed to kind of be, quote, motivated? That happens. I'm not excusing it, but that happens a lot. But what's interesting is that Poway Unified is 100% in on the whole woke culture. So, diversity, equity, inclusion, all of that, they're big fans of it. They promote it amongst the students. And yet we're seeing at the highest levels of the school district, not pushing for inclusion, but exclusion. When are you going to retire? Not appreciating the diversity, but slamming it. In this case, making cracks about white blonde women. This is from people that think that, we need to have equity. We need to get rid of racism. And yet we find people that are pushing a race-based message that frankly is at odds with what diversity, equity, inclusion is all about. This was crazy to me. And I don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, I think they have a superintendent that's temporary now. I think they advanced one of the associate superintendents. They're having a job search. I saw Michelle O'Connor Ratcliffe had announced that they're working with an outside firm that's going to help bring candidates forward. That's kind of their process. But there has just been so much nonsense at Poway Unified going back like 10 to 20 years. I mean, we had the $1 billion bond. We had the disgraced John Collins that was stealing money from the school district, that was unethical, had violated a lot of his terms and conditions of his contract. We've seen corruption with the relationship with lawyers and with bond refinancers. We've seen all kinds of stuff here. And when Marian Kim-Phelps was first brought in, I had hope that she was going to maybe change the culture. But what happened? First of all, she was only approved by a 3-2 vote. If I recall, Michelle O'Connor Ratcliffe and TJ Zane and one more person, maybe Darsh Patel, approved her, but Charlie Sellers and Kimberly Beatty said no. She got in only on a 3-2 vote, which is surprising. But that should have been maybe some red flags right there. And sure enough, here we are. So Poway Unified seems to always get into the news, but often for the wrong reasons. So tell me what you think about Poway Unified. What's going on? It's summertime now. School will start, probably about a month, maybe 5 weeks from now. Kids will be heading back. So tell me what you think about Poway Unified School District. Our families and our community always have something to say.